How's everyone doing? So I got our DNC chat, not chat, our window down here waiting for Obama to come out. Adjust my volume a little bit. And I'm going to play some Diablo until Obama comes out and gives his speech, because they normally are late, and it takes forever anyway. So I just got to Act 2 on Diablo, so I'm going to head off into the cinematic view.
We traveled east, over the mountains and into the vast deserts of broken lands. As the days passed, my companion told me of himself, that he had once been a great warrior, and that a dark and secret burden now weighed heavily upon him. We traveled for an eternity across that arid wasteland. How long?
How was everyone?
I couldn't say. And always, a dark cloud seemed to follow us just over the horizon. Finally, the journey ended. We climbed the last bridge. There below us lay our destination. The shining jewel, Route Lane, with a great sea beyond. We made camp that last night. Perhaps it was the warm desert wind or the sound of the ocean, but for the first time in many weeks, I slept. However, the dreams returned, but these were clearly not my own. I beheld a vision of a great man, the mage, Talrasha. You were there too, Tyrael. I remember seeing you in my dream. His brethren had cornered a great demon, Baal, Lord of Destruction, who had been set loose upon the world. They attempted to imprison the demon within a sacred stone. Yet when their attempts failed, Talrasha selflessly volunteered to contain the demon within himself, completing the prison. He instructed his brethren to bind him within a tomb, buried under the sand, there to wrestle with the demon for all eternity.
now. We set out with the dawn.
The next morning, we walked over the hill toward Lutgolain. I had no idea then of the horrors that were in store for me there.
When they remastered this game, they really made it look a lot different.
Hello.
It's insane.
Greetings, honored traveler.
I'm just gonna try and go out here and level up a little bit.
Oh.
Let me know when Obama comes out. Let's see if I can get a, I don't know if I have any gold or
I bet you wonder how.
if I can hire them. How much money do I have? Oh, they're not very expensive actually. So like level 3. What kind of damage do they do though? Heals, attack rating. I prefer something with like ice damage to slow them down, but I don't see anything like that. I'll just pick multiple hits, I guess. Mercenary rope is your current one, and then I didn't have anything really that great equipped to the one that I had, but I might as well just take it off.
Not in town.
Just give this to the new guy. We don't really care about the bow.
Good day.
Yeah, we just pick one. I don't really care. Then we'll come back and select this guy. Let's see.
I'll put that to good use.
Can you use this?
I'll put that to good use.
Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, so
I'll
he
put that
does...
to good use.
Where's damage? 37 to 64. So the mark actually does more damage than I do with this bow. I wonder if I can buy a new bow. I don't know who would sell that to me.
What you need?
Somebody. My bow's like 5 to 10. Yeah. Unless I get like some gems or something in here. Not really that helpful. Maybe she's got one.
I know much about.
Let's see. Here's some bows. 4 to 8. 5 to 11 with 2 slots though. Yeah, that's a good one actually. But I need some strength to put it on. I'll throw some gems in there. I don't have a cube. Oh, here's a lot better armor too. 11. Let's go with this 26. Kamala's out there speaking, but she's just gonna say some dumb shit, so I'm not really too worried about it. When the Obamas come out, I actually do want to hear them speak. What else we got? So, 87. That's a good one. I don't have enough money for that though. That's really expensive. Let's see. Maybe gloves. Nah, not really there. 8. Nah. Yeah, let me see if I can fight something, I guess. Until... Actually, let me equip this bow. Do I have any? Yeah, I should be able to do this. How much do I need? 30? There we go. Let's see if it does more damage. 715, so the 18. Not a lot. But with this one I can equip a gem, so it should be a lot better.
Blessings to you.
Let me try. Actually, this is mana still. So is that the mana still in there? And then I think I have like a fire. Record level 12. Yeah, it adds another like... There you go. That's really gonna up my damage. Okay. Let's run with that for a while. What level am I? 14. Not that great. No quest. No quest.
I've heard that you are responsible.
Who's supposed to give me the quest? I already talked to those two. There's someone over here.
How do I know I could...
Hey,
Hello.
Atlas.
Good day.
There we go.
I don't expect this.
Fine. Oh yeah. So let's go do that.
Tell me your troubles.
Let's go hit up the sewers. There's a lot of poison damage down here if I remember correctly. I got this new mark, so things should be fine, right? Everything should be good. I can kind of keep my distance. Oh, there's a lot of fire arrows in this. There we go. My merc's all the way over there, not even doing anything. Yep, there's the poison damage. Just ran right into it. Looks like we gotta go back. Alma's speaking, but I know she's not saying anything important. She's gonna leave that for the Obamas. He should be out there taking the hits. That's how they should be. Backing up. There we go, there's something. Let's back up to the the town I was looking for. I'm always running out of stamina. Just not throw them in my life. It's level 2. Some of that. That's no good. So we have. No, come on out here. Of course, he's just wandering around not doing anything. It's kind of stupid.
I need mana.
There we go. So I can tell I'm gonna need to bring up her attack somehow. I need a better weapon, I need better skills. This is not gonna work going through Act 2 like this. Especially once I get to Endariel. Like, there's no way this is gonna work. I'm still running out of stamina. There we go. Yikes.
I need mana.
There we go. I don't know why this guy doesn't go on the offensive. He's just kind of lagging behind. Probably should have picked up some arrows too. Let's see what's down here. Nothing there. And now I'm out of stamina. It's level 3. I think it was on level 2 though, right? Maybe level 3. Okay, let's go. Man, Kamala was talking for a long time. I probably should have listened to that one. I really just wanted to hear the animals. There it is.
Thanks.
I need mana.
You need to be hitting this guy. Oh, you died. Oh, there we go. Can't find him like that.
Atma has been avenged.
Got him.
I am overburdened.
Let me fix this window with nah, it's whatever.
I can't carry anymore.
I need this book of skill, that's for sure. Like that. I'm gonna sell that. What's in this chest?
I can't carry anymore.
Okay, there we go. Some of this gold, why not? Get out of here.
Hello.
See if I can sell that. Get some gold. Back over here to armor. 13 for a 90. That's our best one too. Yeah, this is 90. I'll buy that. And I got I need strength though for it. Yeah, I can't even wear it yet. I'm not even close to wearing that. I need 51 strength just to wear it. Oh, I forgot you could actually do shared stuff over here. Where are those actually? Alright. What else we got? I don't think you can give your merc a sword. What is this? Stick on. What is this? Required level is 29. Rite of passage. I got 2 of those. Do I even have anything that I could even use? This is cool. I'll take that. And this. What's this? 53. There's even more chances. 25. This is 34 though. 63 strength to wear that. Level 20. So all this I can't even really use. It's over here. Ooh, look at the bow though. It'd be level 39 now. What should I be going for? Strength, I guess? To put on some armor? Yeah, I need more strength. Yeah, I got some pretty good stuff in here. I can't believe Kamala's still talking. Alright, let's see what I can do here. Did I get to 18? No, I'm still at 18. What is this? Avoid. Instant dodge. Missiles. Or eliminate nearby enemies. Slow start range attack. Okay. Let's do that. Missiles. And Pierce, that's a good one too. So I'm getting better at dodging, but I need more attack. So I need to level up my strength a little bit, I think. And then
They say
we're good to go. So go back and get my Merc. That way I have someone to tank for me.
Need some help?
So there he is. And what's my quest? I did that. What is this? Search the halls of the dead. Oh, the dry hills for the cube. Okay, so I need to start heading out this way. Let's see what's out here. Oh, this thing's around mine. Oh, he just leveled up too. That hurts. Level up though. It's these. It's cool. Man. It's no good. I wonder if that's better than what it has. 24? Yeah, it's better actually.
I'll put that to good use.
Put that on it. This guy keeps getting into fights. He's actually fighting now. Before he wasn't doing anything. We'll give him a healing
Thanks.
potion.
Thanks.
2 of them actually. I don't think this hunter's bow is really anything. Nah, that's nothing. Throw that there. And keep it moving. So yeah, I'm gonna up my strength. That way I can put on some better items. Scale mail. Let me see. Oh no, 44. I might keep that. See what skill I have too. Slows ranged missile attacks. Okay, let's do that. And then I can do evade. Give a chance to dodge when you're running, so I definitely want to do that. I'm trying to go for this Valkyrie so I have a tank. Yeah, level 18 for sure. Get that guided arrow. So it looks like they're done speaking. They're just kind of walking around now. I need to pick up all of these potions. Yeah, they're leaving now. see if I can find this. Yeah, Bernie Sanders out there now. Where the hell's of the dead under the dry hills? Where am I? Rocky Wasteland? I need to go back one. Grab the arrows. I'm gonna let my merc hopefully defend me here. And try and fix the way they have it set up on the guy getting cut off there. I don't know if they got Bernie Sanders just like way over there, but he's all jacked up. And just move him over. Let's do it like that, I guess. Does that look better? Maybe. I don't know. Either way, I'm not waiting for Bernie Sanders. That's not really what I want to see. got Nancy Pelosi out there. There she is, yeah. I see her in the corner. Alright, alright. It's over here. Nope, nothing. I went too far. Because they said it's the dry hills, right? Yeah, halted the dead under the dry hills, so I need to go back. Guess I'm out of stamina. So it must be down there. Yeah, I probably gotta go back down. Let's... Yeah, there's nothing there. So I get the Harajic cube in this. Just gotta find it. I'm gonna take the town portal and a bunch of these potions for sure.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright, plenty of potions. Yeah, I can already tell this is gonna be difficult. I wouldn't say that, actually.
I am overburdened.
There's like a level 2 to this that you gotta get to before you get the cube. Yeah, for sure. So they still got Nancy Pelosi out there speaking. I don't really care what she has to say. I'm just here to hear what the Obamas have to say. Obviously, they're gonna endorse Kamala, but you know, Obama was really good He did a really good speech always. Let's see what it has to say. There we go. That should be, yeah, level 2. Ooh, this guy is green. Aura enchanted.
I can't carry anymore.
I still can't use that thing anyway. I need more strength. I'll go straight down. My waypoint. I'll take it. Where'd they go? Oh, I thought they were cutting something off. So it's level 3? Yeah, go level 3. Let's head down. I don't know why he's going that way. I gotta go fight him. Alright. Head back down. So far this hasn't really been that difficult.
can't carry anymore.
There it is. Heavy boots. Let me see what I got. That to him.
Thanks. Thanks.
These don't need bolts. Sell it, I guess. Check the chest. Quadruple cube for sure. I want that. And let's move our strength up a little bit. Gotta get to 44. So next level I should be able to put some better armor on. Let's get out of here. What level am I? Okay, next level should be pretty impactful. Do the critical hit. It's probably the best one.
You have
Good day.
I think those are better. Wired string 53. Got a bunch of magic find stuff. This 29. I really need this though. Dexterity 80. Strength 65. So at least get my strength up to 65 to use this. What's this? Goal hide? Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna work on strength for probably a while. If I can sell anything. I'm working on that. I don't need this. Energy, definitely don't need that. Defense, dexterity, Let's have resistance to all. Yeah, let's do that instead. I wonder, like, this is 35. This is 57. 60. Let's do this one. Throw that back. Maybe get a bigger belt if I can. Yeah, 2. Oh yeah, that should be easy. 7. 7. So 2 7s. Can't even wear that one though. Let's do this one. For now. Oh, boots. Even boots. Get some arrows on here. I'm gonna go back out there, I guess do some leveling. Search the maggot lair under the far oasis. Maybe I'll go that way. What do I have so far? I've only been to the dry hills, so let's just go this way. I did find it though, I think it was over there. Yeah, like straight down. I think it's over there. And then I can level up, you know. Get that guided arrow. Yeah, far oasis. So there's the maggot lair is just over here somewhere. We'll find it. Little different critters over here. So here's the waypoint. That's good news at least. I'm gonna go down here. I have a feeling it's probably down here somewhere. That's too far. There it is. Okay. Let's try it out, I guess. Let's keep it going. Oh, man. My resistances are not very good. my merc all the way over there? Not really very helpful. Alright, level 2. There we go. What was that? Stuck. Quest log. Asked Rogan about the strange darkness, and then I'm still working on this. I think this is where you get the staff to put in the Project Cube. I think there's like one more level to it. What? What's going on here? Ah, there we go. Sometimes when you lag a little bit, you can't open the doors. Kind of annoying. Who is that? Who do they have speaking there? Angela also Brooks, U.S. Senate candidate. Okay. I think once I get the staff, I'm probably going to switch over to actually watching the people speak. Should be pretty close, I would think. Finding where the staff is.
I need mana.
There we go. Oh, there it is. I gotta go in there. That's pretty quick, actually. Alright, I'm gonna grab the staff, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so I'm gonna switch it. Let me close Diablo down. Might get a little bit laggy here. At least until I close it, you know. Doesn't want to close for me. All right, here we go. Let's turn the volume back on.
Faith
See what they have
is
to say.
stronger than our fears. Faith in the promise of America. Faith in the American idea, in the American values that we share. Faith that we, the people, can choose a new leader, a better future for the people. Faith that as dark as our days and challenges have sometimes felt, it's always darkest before the dawn. We know that we can endure for a night because joy cometh in the morning. Morning is coming. Morning is coming. And that joy will be led by Kamala Harris. Thank you so much.
Please welcome Mesa, Arizona Mayor John Giles.
So let's see who's in the lineup, actually.
Thank you
Good
to
evening.
everyone who participated.
I have
in
a
our
confession to make. I'm a lifelong Republican. So I feel a little out of place tonight, but I feel more at home here than in today's Republican Party. The grand old party has been kidnapped by extremists and devolved into a cult. The cult of Donald Trump. Trump doesn't know the first thing about public service. Like a child, he acts purely out of self-interest. We all need an adult in the White House, and we've seen what happens when we don't have one. Trump made a lot of lofty promises: unlimited economic growth, American manufacturing
Terrible time.
reborn, a
10
secure
o'clock
border.
now, so
Turns out Donald Trump
it says Barack
was all talk.
Obama. Who's this guy?
He wanted our votes, but he couldn't deliver a thing. But these days, my city of Mesa, Arizona is on the move. I'm going to ribbon cuttings every
Arizona.
single week, all because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris reached across the aisle
John
and they
Giles.
delivered for my
see
conservative
him on
community
here.
and countless more across the country.
John Giles. No, he's not even there.
My hero, John McCain, taught us to put country over party. And that's how Vice President Harris and Governor Walz will lead too.
Yeah.
I have an urgent message for the
Pritzker was
majority of
supposed to
Americans
speak
who, like
from
me,
Illinois.
are in the political middle. John McCain's Republican Party is gone,
I don't know
and
who
we
these
don't know
guys
a
are,
damn
actually.
thing to what's been left behind.
I'll try a different schedule. See if they'll
So let's turn the page.
show me.
Let's put country first. Let's put adults in the room where our country deserves. Thank you.
He was pretty quick, though. That was a quick speech.
It's our dream to have a large family.
Being a parent, it's the most important thing in my life.
For decades, Americans have turned to the miracle of IVF treatments.
She felt like a dream come true.
The fact that she was
Michelle
able to
Obama,
build a family,
and then
that's
Barack
why I do what
Obama.
I do.
Without IVF, I don't know how this would have been possible.
IVF treatment gives many patients an opportunity to have a family.
I love that I get to help people every day become parents.
But a party that pretends to be pro-family wants to put a stop to this. They are attacking the right to expand and start a family.
It's unthinkable.
They may never have the family that they've dreamt of.
In the U.S. Senate,
Republicans blocked a Democratic bill that would have established protections for in vitro fertilization.
Mr. Vance, no.
If Republicans actually cared as much about protecting IVF, this would have been a simple yes vote.
Family means support.
To me, family is your whole world. It's the life that you build.
IVF made my family.
It made my heart whole.
It made my life full.
It made my life full.
And it made my life full.
And we will always fight for you, for your family, for your freedoms, and for your future.
Kamala Harris and Tim Walz honor the freedoms of all families to make decisions about what is right for them, for this generation and generations to come.
So I think Obama should be speaking pretty soon.
Please welcome Illinois Senator
Who is it?
Tammy Duckworth.
Tammy Duckworth. Man, these schedules are all jacked up. They don't tell you the order of who's speaking. Here, maybe this website will tell me. Yeah, it's a trial. Okay. Blah, midday. Who's she?
Hello, Chicago!
She Illinois something.
Hello, Chicago!
Evening.
You know, I went to war to protect America's rights and freedoms. So I take it personally when a 5-time draft-dodging coward like Donald Trump tries to take away...
Tammy Duckworth? Is that her?
Tries to take away my rights and freedoms in return.
I think that was her, right?
Especially when it concerns my daughters. My girls, gamer girl Abigail and queen of the monkey bars, Miley, are everything to me. But they would never have been born without access to reproductive care. Because after 10 years of struggling with infertility, I was only able to have them through the miracle of IVF.
I need to see her name again. Needs to pop it back on there.
But now, Trump's anti-woman crusade has put other Americans' right to have their own families at risk. Because if they win, Republicans will not stop at banning abortion. They will come for IVF next. They'll prosecute doctors. They will shame and spy on women. And if you think that's far-fetched, just look up what happened in Alabama last year. So let me say to every would-be parent, I see you, I'm with you. And together, in November, we'll send a message to old Cadet Bone Spurs. Stay out of our doctors' offices, and while you're at it, out of the Oval Office too. Look, my struggle with infertility was more painful than any wound I earned on the battlefield. So how dare a convicted felon like Donald Trump treat women seeking health care like they're the ones breaking the law? How dare J.D. Vance criticize childless women on cable news, then vote against legislation that would have actually helped Americans to start families? How dare the GOP endanger the dreams of countless veterans whose combat wounds prevent them from having kids without IVF, punishing our heroes for their willingness to serve? It's simple. Every American deserves the right to be called mommy or daddy without being treated like a criminal. Kamala Harris believes that. So let's make some history and elect her in November. God bless America.
Who are you? Post her name, come on. Or don't, whatever, just let me know who she is. That was pointless.
This is my dad, Doug. He was raised in Jersey and moved to LA when he was 16. These are his parents, Barb and Mike. They think he walks on water. This is what he wore to his bar mitzvah. And here's him at summer camp. They voted him most athletic, so he says. This is a photo McDonald's used when he was Employee of the Month. It hung on our wall for years. My dad is a lawyer, a really good one. My mom called him the crisis guy because he was everyone's first call. My parents split when I was in middle school, and that wasn't easy. That's not easy for any kid. But it helped that my parents stayed friends and we all kept hanging together. We grew closer than ever. And then he met Kamala, the blind date that would dramatically change all of our lives forever. It was my senior year of high school. Elle and I
that's her
would laugh
husband.
watching them
Is he
fall
speaking?
in love,
Yeah, he's speaking
acting
next.
like
That's why.
teenagers.
She was Tammy Duckoff, or
In
Duckworth.
2014, Kamala
And
became
Douglas
She
M.
took over
Hoff
Sunday night
is the
dinners and
second
taught Doug
gentleman
how
who's
to
coming out
actually
here.
cook.
And then Michelle Obama will
Our
speak.
blended family wasn't used to
Then,
politics or the
obviously, Obama's
spotlight,
gonna speak.
but when Kamala became senator, we were all excited to step up, especially my dad. Then Kamala became vice president. It felt like Doug was a bit out of place on Capitol Hill. I thought, what is my goofy dad doing here? But he embraced it. He left his practice after being a lawyer for 30 years. That was tough. I was so proud to watch him do it, to stand by her side, an example of true partnership. I just got married myself, and he's inspired me as a new husband. Anyone who really gets close to him knows he's kind, loving, and fiercely protective.
Protest Russia's stage.
Just look at this face. This is my dad, the first second gentleman in the history of this nation. He's found his voice around the issues that matter to him.
You have no choice but to speak up and speak out.
There is an epidemic of hate, including a crisis of anti-Semitism in our country and around the world.
What they are doing on reproductive freedom and freedom in general is just outrageous.
And next, he's gonna make history again as the first gentleman. I can't wait for everyone to get to know why we all love him. He's the glue that keeps this family together. We might not look like other families in the White House, but we are ready to represent all families in America.
Please welcome my dad, the second gentleman of the United States, Doug Emhoff.
I guess he didn't want me to give this speech. He just... Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you. Hello to my big, beautiful, blended family up there. I love you so much. Aren't you proud of Cole? Wow. And a special shout out to my mother. I see you. My mother is the only person in the whole world who thinks Kamala is the lucky one for marrying me. And to Kamala, who, well, we just saw where she is. She's out on the trail, listening to and talking with voters. Honey, I can't wait for you to come back to Chicago because we're having a great time here.
So she's campaigning during the DNC.
So much.
Insane.
I'm so proud of how you're stepping up for all of us. But that's who she is. Wherever she's needed, however she's needed, Kamala rises to the occasion. And she did it for me and our family. And now that the country needs her, she's showing you what we already know. She's ready to lead.
But she's not even there.
She brings both joy and toughness to this task, and she will be a great president we will all be proud of. Now, I'm the son of two Brooklynites, Mike and Barb. They've been together almost 70 years. My dad worked in the shoe business in Manhattan, and he moved our family out to New Jersey. Where's New Jersey? I see you out there. When I was a little kid. And in a lot of ways, I had a typical Jersey suburban childhood. I biked around the neighborhood. I took the bus to Hebrew school. And I rode to Little League practice in the way back of my coach's wood-paneled station wagon. And if we did well, we got to have a Slurpee after.
Wow. Exciting.
In my neighborhood, everyone left their garage door open. Wherever you ended up at dinner time, that's the family that fed you. Everyone took care of everyone else. And the guys I grew up with are still my best friends. The group chat is active every day, and it's probably blowing up right now, guys. When my dad had to get a new job, we moved across the country to LA. Money was tight. Hey, California. Money was tight, so I worked at McDonald's in high school for some extra cash. Not only was I Employee of the Month, but I still have the framed picture, which you just saw, and there was a ring, golden arches and all. And then I waited tables, parked cars. I was working full-time so I could afford to go to college part-time. And thanks to partial scholarships, student loans, and a little help from my dad, I got myself through law school. And I got my first job as a lawyer, which is also where I met the guys in my fantasy football league. And a lot has changed in our lives since the early 90s, but my team name is still Nirvana. Yes, after the band. I worked hard, and I love being a lawyer. And by the way, I still get to be part of the profession by teaching students at Georgetown Law School. I got married, became a dad to Cole and Ella. Unfortunately, I went through a divorce, but eventually started worrying about how I would make it all work. And that's when something unexpected happened. In 2013, I walked into a contentious client meeting. We worked through the issue, and by the end of the meeting, the now happy client offered to set me up on a blind date, which is how I ended up with Kamala Harris's phone number. Now, for generations, people have debated when to call the person you're being set up with. And never in history has anyone suggested 8:30 a.m. And yet, that's when I dialed. I got Kamala's voicemail, and I just started rambling. Hey, it's Doug. I'm on my way to an early meeting. Again, it's Doug. I remember I was trying to grab the words out of the air and just put them back in my mouth. And for what seemed like far too many minutes, I hung up. By the way, Kamala saved that voicemail, and she makes me listen to it on every anniversary. But that message wasn't the only unusual thing about that day. Now, Kamala, who normally would have been working hard at her office, just happened to be waiting at her apartment for a contractor to do some work on her kitchen. I was eating at my desk, which was not a regular occurrence for a busy lawyer like me who appreciated a good business lunch. But that's when she called me back. And we talked for an hour, and we laughed. Well, you know that laugh. I love that laugh.
Yikes. I don't know if we love that laugh.
And maybe that counted as our first date. Or maybe it was that Saturday night when I picked her up and told her, buckle up, I'm a really bad driver. Because you can't hide anything from Kamala Harris, so you might as well own it. And as I got to know her better and just fell in love fast, I learned what drives Kamala. And it's what you've seen over these past 4 years, and especially these past 4 weeks. She finds joy in pursuing justice. She stands up to bullies just like my parents taught me to. And she likes to see people do well, but hates when they're treated unfairly. She believes this work requires a basic curiosity in just how people are doing. Her empathy is her strength. Over the past decade, Kamala has connected me more deeply to my faith, even though it's not the same as hers. She comes to synagogue with me for high holiday services, and I go to church with her for Easter. I get to enjoy her mom's chili relleno recipe every Christmas, and she makes a mean brisket for Passover. It brings me right back to my grandmother's apartment in Brooklyn, you know, the one with the plastic-covered couches. But Kamala has fought against anti-Semitism and all forms of hate her whole career. She's the one who encouraged me as second gentleman to take up that fight, which is so personal to me. And those of you who belong to blended families know that they can be a little complicated. But as soon as our kids started calling her Mamala, I knew we'd be okay. Ella calls us a three-headed parenting machine. Kamala and Kirsten, thank you both. Thank you both for always putting your family and the kids first. Now, Cole and Ella's friends knew that when they'd come over for Sunday dinner with Mamala, it was going to be real talk. In between taking cooking instructions, they'd have to answer questions about what problem they wanted to solve in the world. They learned that you've always got to be prepared because Kamala is going to prosecute the case. And in the same breath that Cole and Greenlee told us that they were engaged,
Michelle
they
Obama's up
asked
next.
Kamala to officiate their wedding. And in the same way that she always steps up when it matters, Kamala put so much time into those remarks, and she bound them in a book that matched her dark red dress, and then turned that into a gift for the happy couple. A few days ago, during this incredible time we're going through, there was a brief window when Kamala was back at home. And I saw her sitting on her favorite chair, and in the middle of a wild month, I just hoped that she was having a quiet moment to herself. But then I realized she was on the phone. And of course, my mind went to all the potential crises that the vice president could be dealing with. Was it domestic? Was it foreign? Was it campaign? I could see she was focused, and all I knew was that it must be something important. And it turns out it was. Ella had called her. That's Kamala. That's Kamala. Those kids are her priorities, and that scene was a perfect map of her heart. She's always been there for our children, and I know she'll always be there for yours too. Kamala is a joyful warrior. It's doing for her country what she has always done for the people that she loves. Her passion will benefit all of us when she's our president. And here's the thing about joyful warriors. They're still warriors. And Kamala is as tough as it comes. Just ask the criminals, the global gangsters, and the witnesses before the Senate Judiciary Committee. She never runs from a fight. And she knows the best way to deal with a coward is to take him head on. Because we all know cowards are weak, and Kamala Harris can smell weakness. She doesn't tolerate any BS. You've all seen that look, and you know that look I'm talking about. That look is not just a meme. It reflects her true belief in honest and direct leadership. And it's also why she will not be distracted by nonsense. Kamala knows that in order to win, we cannot lose focus. America, in this election, you have to decide who to trust with your family's future. I trusted Kamala with our family's future. It was the best decision I ever made. This Thursday will be our 10th wedding anniversary, which I know it means I'm about to hear that embarrassing voicemail again.
No, Chad.
However,
Michelle's
that's not
after
all
this,
I'll be hearing.
this guy,
that same
her
night,
husband,
I'll be hearing my wife,
and then
Kamala
Obama's going to
Harris,
speak.
accept your nomination for President of the United States. And with your help, she will lead with joy and toughness, with that laugh and that look, with compassion and conviction. She'll lead from the belief that wherever we come from, whatever we look like, we're strongest when we fight for what we believe in, not just against what we fear. Kamala Harris was exactly the right person for me at an important moment in my life. And at this moment in our nation's history, she is exactly the right president. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Michelle's going to be next, and then Obama's going to speak. She's going to. That's kind of weak.
Please welcome former First Lady Michelle Obama.
They have to play the music and get me demonetized. He seemed more likable than Kamala, though. All right, here is Michelle Obama speaking at the DNC. Haven't seen either of the Obamas in a long time, so this should be interesting.
Okay. We got a big night ahead. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Big night ahead. They're like the main act. What's she talking about? It's her and then Obama. And the night's over.
Hey. Hello, Chicago. Yeah. All right. Something wonderfully magical is in the air, isn't it? Yeah. You know, we're feeling it here in this arena, but it's spreading all across this country we love. A familiar feeling that's been buried too deep for far too long.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's the contagious power of hope.
Oh, okay. Mr. Honeybee says,
The anticipation, the energy, the exhilaration of once again being on the cusp of a brighter day. The chance to vanquish the demons of fear, division, and hate that have consumed us and continue pursuing the unfinished promise of this great nation, the dream that our parents and grandparents fought and died.
It shocks me that the party who is demanding young leaders is relying on old leaders. Yeah, they knew the Obamas were going to draw out a crowd, which, I mean, a good Obama speech does leave you feeling good. It leaves you feeling like there is hope, even if he was bombing kids in Syria. Never mind, there's 100K people outside setting flags on fire, trying to rip down the gates. Yeah, you're right. You are right, man.
And sacrificed for. America, hope is making a comeback.
I don't know if people have a lot of hope in Kamala, to be honest.
But to be honest, I am realizing that until recently, I have mourned the dimming of that hope.
I'm a Trump man. Yeah, I probably lean more towards Trump too. I like that Obama's actually presidential. It was a more simple time where the best they could do is complain about his suit. I mean, you could argue policies and be against that for sure, but at least Obama was, I don't know, presidential. But why Hillary? She's the epitome of evil. They had her come out last night, actually.
And maybe you've experienced the same feelings. Is that deep pit in my stomach, a palpable sense of dread about the future. And for me, that mourning has also been mixed with my own personal grief. The last time I was here in my hometown was to memorialize my mother, the woman who showed me the meaning of hard work and humility and decency, the woman who set my moral compass high and showed me the power of my own voice. Folks, I still feel her loss so profoundly. I wasn't even sure if I'd be steady enough to stand before you tonight, but my heart compelled me to be here because of the sense of duty that I feel to honor her memory and to remind us all not to squander the...
After his first term, I didn't like him. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like him after the first term because he was supposed to be that guy of hope, you know, and it was pretty much the same shit that we had before, and people started to realize that, oh, the president doesn't really have that much power. Like you said, Obama was very well spoken. He spoke, you listened, and that's coming from a guy who voted Obama and then Trump. Yeah, so like, specifically, I remember Obama doing things like when his wife got out of the car and it was raining, he had the umbrella and he was putting it over his wife. And I was like, wow, that's actually a good man. That's things that you want to see from a U.S. president. Again, policies aside, you know, you can definitely disagree with the Democratic policies, of course. But at least he was doing those little things that you don't see in today's candidates. Voted for Obama first term, second term, couldn't do it. Yeah, I voted for him the first term, and then the second term I didn't vote at all because apparently I wasn't registered. So then it came out, the Coke stuff and the limo rides. What Coke stuff?
Sacrifices our elders made to give us a better future. You see, my mom, in her steady, quiet way, lived out that striving sense of hope.
Yeah, I'm young. I'm 34. That's still pretty young.
Every single day of her life. She believed that all children, all people
All right,
have
I'll Google it right
value,
now.
that anyone can succeed if given the opportunity. She and my father didn't aspire to be wealthy. In fact, they were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed. They understood that it wasn't enough for their kids to thrive if everyone else around us was drowning. So my mother volunteered at the local school. She always looked out for the other kids on the block. She was glad to do the thankless, unglamorous
So I see a New York Times article that says, the title is "Old Friends Say Drugs Played a Bit Part." I think they meant big part in the title, though they had a typo. Big part in Obama's young life. Is that what you're referring to? That he might have done drugs in his young life?
Work that for generations has strengthened the fabric of this nation. The belief that if you do unto others, if you love thy neighbor, if you work and scrape and sacrifice, it will pay off. If not for you, then maybe for your children or your grandchildren. You see, those values have been passed on through family farms and factory towns, through tree-lined streets and crowded tenements,
While he was
through
senator.
prayer groups and National Guard units and social studies classrooms.
Yeah, I don't expect a young man to not experiment with drugs. I'm not holding him to that standard. It was just those nice things that you would see that at least the media was pushing forward, That was nice. It was a simple time, a simple time where it was just a guy loving his wife. And I don't know about what he did when he was younger. I'm sure he did a lot of drugs. Everybody does drugs when they're younger, right? Not a big deal. There's nothing wrong with limos and coke, throwing some party girls, and a good time to be had. Exactly. It doesn't bother me, really.
Those were the values my mother poured into me until her very last breath. Kamala Harris and I built our lives on those same foundational values. Even though our mothers grew up an ocean apart, they shared the same belief in the promise of this country. That's why her mother moved here from India at 19. It's why she taught Kamala about justice, about the obligation to lift others up,
Wasn't girls.
about our responsibility to give more than we take. She'd often tell her daughter, "Don't sit around and complain about things, do something." So, with that voice in her head, Kamala went out and she worked hard in school, graduating from an HBCU, earning her law degree at a state school. And then she went on to work for the people, fighting to hold lawbreakers accountable, strengthening the rule of law, fighting to get folks better wages, cheaper prescription drugs, a good education, decent health care, child care, elder care. From a middle-class household, Kamala worked her way up to become Vice President of the United States of America. My girl, Kamala Harris, is more than ready for this moment. She is one of the most qualified people ever to seek the office of the presidency. And she is one of the most dignified. A tribute to her mother, to my mother, and to your mother too. The embodiment of the stories we tell ourselves about this country. Her story is your story. It's my story. It's the story of the vast majority of Americans trying to build a better life. Look, Kamala knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life. All of our contributions deserve to be accepted and valued. Because no one has a monopoly on what it means to be an American. No one. Kamala has shown her allegiance to this nation, not by spewing anger and bitterness, but by living a life of service and always pushing the doors of opportunity open to others. She understands that most of us will never be afforded the grace of failing forward.
She's talking about your
We
boy
will
Trump.
never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth. if we bankrupt a business or choke in a crisis, we don't get a second, third, or fourth chance. If things don't go our way, we don't have the luxury of whining or cheating others to get further ahead. No. We don't get to change the rules so we always win. If we see a mountain in front of us, we don't expect there to be an escalator waiting to take us to the top. No. We put our heads down. We get to work. In America, we do something. And throughout her entire life, that's what we've seen from Kamala Harris. The steel of her spine, the steadiness of her upbringing, the honesty of her example, and yes, the joy of her laughter and her light.
Ugh. I love that laughter part.
It couldn't be more obvious. Of the two major candidates in this race, only Kamala Harris truly understands the unseen labor and unwavering commitment that has always made America great. Now, unfortunately, we know what comes next. We know folks are going to do everything they can to distort her truth. My husband and I sadly know a little something about this. For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black. I want to know, who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs? Look, it's his same old con. His same old con. Doubling down on ugly, misogynistic, racist lies as a substitute for real ideas and solutions that will actually make people's lives better. Look, because cutting our health care, taking away our freedom to control our bodies, the freedom to become a mother through IVF like I did, those things are not going to improve the health outcomes of our wives, mothers, and daughters. Shutting down the Department of Education, banning our books, none of that will prepare our kids for the future. Demonizing our children for being who they are and loving who they love, look, that doesn't make anybody's life better. Instead, it only makes us small. And let me tell you this, going small is never the answer. Going small is the opposite of what we teach our kids. Going small is petty, it's unhealthy, and quite frankly, it's unpresidential.
There you go. Why didn't she run?
So, why would any of us accept this from anyone seeking our highest office? Why would we normalize that type of backward leadership? Doing so only demeans and cheapens our politics. It only serves to further discourage good, big-hearted people from wanting to get involved at all. America, our parents taught us better than that, and we deserve so much better than that. That's why we must do everything in our power to elect two of those good, big-hearted people, there is no other choice than Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. No other choice. But as we embrace this renewed sense of hope, let us not forget the despair we have felt. Let us not forget what we are up against. Yes, Kamala and Tim are doing great now. We're loving it. They're packing arenas across the country. Folks are energized. We are feeling good. But remember, there are still so many people who are desperate for a different outcome, who are ready to question and criticize every move Kamala makes, who are eager to spread those lies, who don't want to vote for a woman, who will continue to prioritize building their wealth over ensuring that everyone has enough. So no matter how good we feel tonight or tomorrow or the next day, this is going to be an uphill battle. So folks, we cannot be our own worst enemies. No. See, because the minute something goes wrong, the minute a lie takes hold, folks, we cannot start wringing our hands. We cannot get a Goldilocks complex about whether everything is just right. And we cannot indulge our anxieties about whether this country will elect someone like Kamala instead of doing everything we can to get someone like Kamala elected. Kamala and Tim, they have lived amazing lives. And I am confident that they will lead with compassion, inclusion, and grace. But they are still only human. They are not perfect. And like all of us, they will make mistakes. But luckily, y'all, this is not just on them. No, this is up to us, all of us, to be the solution that we seek. It's up to all of us to be the antidote to the darkness and division. Look, I don't care how you identify politically, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or none of the above. This is our time to stand up for what we know in our hearts is right. To stand up, not just for our basic freedoms, but for decency and humanity, for basic respect, dignity, and empathy, for the values at the very foundation of this democracy. It's up to us to remember what Kamala's mother told her. Don't just sit around and complain, do something. So, if they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something. If we see a bad poll, and we will, we got to put down that phone and do something. If we start feeling tired, if we start feeling that dread creeping back in, we got to pick ourselves up, throw water on our face, and what? Do something. We only have 2.5 months, y'all, to get this done. Only 11 weeks to make sure every single person we know is registered and has a voting plan. So, we cannot afford for anyone America to sit on their hands and wait to be called. Don't complain if no one from the campaign has specifically reached out to you to ask you for your support. There is simply no time for that kind of foolishness. You know what you need to do. So, consider this to be your official ask. Michelle Obama is asking you, no, I'm telling y'all to do something.
Why do they make it sound like we had a civil war to get Trump out of office last time? I don't know. I don't know what I'm assuming because they know that the Obamas can be really emotional speakers and that they're good at speaking. They can get these people to think that way. Obviously, look at the way she's hypnotizing the crowd. She's an excellent speaker. She knows the things that she says is going to resonate with these people, and it is. If she wants to paint Trump as a racist, sexist guy, then it's pretty easy for her to do that.
This election is going to be close. In some states, just a handful, listen to me, a handful of votes in every precinct could decide the winner. So we need to vote in numbers that erase any doubt. We need to overwhelm any effort to suppress us. Our fate is in our hands. In 77 days, we have the power to turn our country away from the fear, division, and smallness of the past. We have the power to marry our hope with our action. We have the power to pay forward the love, sweat, and sacrifice of our mothers and fathers and all those who came before us. We did it before y'all, and we sure can do it again.
Do something, get out and work. We need the tax money. Exactly. They're panning to all these people in the crowd, and I just can't help but think if Trump gets elected, we're going to have tons more of those memes of the Democrats just crying out.
Let us work like our lives depend on it. And let us keep moving our country forward and go higher. Yes, always higher than we've ever gone before as we elect the next president and vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Thank you all. God bless.
Oh, there she is, Michelle Obama, giving a speech. Do something, apparently. I guess she's not done yet.
Before I go,
She's not done.
I have one more job tonight. Yeah, one more job. You all, thank you for all the love, but it is now my honor to introduce somebody who knows a whole lot about hope. Someone who has spent his life strengthening our democracy, and let me tell you, as someone who lives with him, he wakes up every day, and thinks about what's best for this country. Please welcome America's 44th president and the love of my life, Barack Obama.
All right, so they got Barack Obama coming out. Michelle just introduced him. They got the music on, so I have that off right now because that'll get me demonetized. But Michelle Obama just gave a really good speech telling the supporters that they need to do something. They need to get out and vote. So he's approaching the podium. As soon as I turn the music off, I'll turn it back on. All right, here we go. Maybe not.
Thank you.
We haven't seen him in a long time. I can't remember the last time I heard a speech from him.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. That's enough. Thank you. Chicago!
If Kamala wins, Hillary will be pissed. Obama essentially gets 4 main possible 5 terms and she gets none. Yeah, when she did her speech yesterday, she seemed a little salty. It was a little weird. And she came out on the first night, you know, you're a first lady. Coming out, giving a speech on a first night. I think that probably didn't set well with her.
It's good to be home. It is good to be home, and I don't know about you, but I'm feeling fired up. I am feeling ready to go. Even if I am the only person stupid enough to speak after Michelle Obama. I am feeling hopeful because this convention has always been pretty good to kids with funny names who believe in a country where anything is possible. Because we have a chance to elect someone who has spent her entire life trying to give people the same chances America gave her. Someone who sees you and hears you and will get up every single day and fight for you. The next president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris. It's been 16 years since I had the honor of accepting this party's nomination for president. And I know that's hard to believe because I have not aged a bit.
Yikes.
But it's true. And looking back, I can say without question that my first big decision as your nominee turned out to be one of my best. And that was asking Joe Biden to serve by my side as vice president. Other than some common Irish blood, Joe and I come from different backgrounds, but we became brothers. And as we worked together for 8, sometimes pretty tough years, what I came to admire most about Joe wasn't just his smarts, his experience. It was his empathy and his decency and his hard-earned resilience, his unshakable belief that everyone in this country deserves a fair shot.
That's word for word what Biden said about Kamala last night. They got the same speechwriters, man, of course. They could only afford
over
one.
The last 4 years, those are the values America has needed.
Or maybe they use ChatGPT and they just try to randomize it a little bit.
Most. At a time when millions of our fellow citizens were sick and dying, we needed a leader with the character to put politics aside and do what was right. At a time when our economy was reeling, we needed a leader with the determination to drive what would become the world's strongest recovery. 15 million jobs, higher wages, lower health care costs. At a time when the other party had turned into a cult of personality, we needed a leader who was steady and brought people together and was selfless enough to do the rarest thing there is in politics, putting his own ambition aside for the sake of the country. History will remember Joe Biden as an outstanding president who defended democracy at a moment of great danger. And I am proud to call him my president, but I am even prouder to call him my friend.
Were they saying the great danger was him running again? Because that's what it sounds like. Thank you, Joe, for stepping down because you're too old and senile.
Now,
Okay.
the torch has been passed. Now it is up to all of us to fight for the America we believe in. And make no mistake, it will be a fight. For all the incredible energy we've been able to generate over the last few weeks, for all the rallies and the memes, this will still be a tight race in a closely divided country. A country where too many Americans are still struggling. Where a lot of Americans don't believe government can help. And as we gather here tonight, the people who will decide this election are asking a very simple question. Who will fight for me? Who's thinking about my future, about my children's future, about our future together? One thing is for certain, Donald Trump is not losing sleep over that question. Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on. The other day I heard someone compare Trump to the neighbor who keeps running his leaf blower outside your window every minute of every day. Now, from a neighbor, that's exhausting. From a president, it's just dangerous. The truth is, Donald Trump sees power as nothing more than it means to his ends. He wants the middle class to pay the price for another huge tax cut that would mostly help him and his rich friends. He killed a bipartisan immigration deal written in part by one of the most conservative Republicans in Congress that would have helped secure our southern border because he thought trying to actually solve the problem would hurt his campaign. He doesn't. Do not boo. Vote.
Don't boo, vote. He just phrase we all need a victim mentality who will watch out for me.
He doesn't seem to care if more
He did
women
just say that
lose
too.
their reproductive freedom since it won't affect his life. And most of all, Donald Trump wants us to think that this country is hopelessly divided between us and them, between the real Americans, who of course support him, and the outsiders who don't. And he wants you to think that you'll be richer and safer if you will just give him the power to put those other people back in their place. It is one of the oldest tricks in politics from a guy whose act has, let's face it, gotten pretty stale. We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse. America's ready for a new chapter. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a president Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris is ready for the job. This is a person who has spent her life fighting on behalf of people who need a voice and a champion. As you heard from Michelle, Kamala was not born into privilege. She had to work for what she's got.
Yeah, I
And
thought
she actually
Michelle's
cares
speech was
about
better.
what other people are going through. She's not the neighbor running the leaf blower. She's the neighbor rushing over to help when you need a hand. As a prosecutor, Kamala stood up for children who had been victims of sexual abuse. As an attorney general of the most populous state in the country, she fought big banks and for-profit colleges, securing billions of dollars for the people they had scammed. After the home mortgage crisis, she pushed me and my administration hard to make sure homeowners got a fair settlement. Didn't matter that I was a Democrat. Didn't matter that she had knocked on doors for my campaign in Iowa. She was going to fight to get as much relief as possible for the families who deserved it. As vice president, she helped take on the drug companies to cap the cost of insulin, lower the cost of health care, give families with kids a tax cut. And she is running for president with real plans to lower costs even more and protect Medicare and Medicaid and sign a law to guarantee every woman's right to make her own health care decisions. In other words, Kamala Harris won't be focused on her problems. She'll be focused on yours. As president, she won't just cater to her own supporters and punish those who refuse to kiss the ring or bend the knee. She'll work on behalf of every American. That's who Kamala is. And in the White House, she will have an outstanding partner in Governor Tim Walz. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I love this guy. Tim is the kind of person who should be in politics. Born in a small town, served his country, taught kids, coached football, took care of his neighbors. He knows who he is, and he knows what's important. You can tell those flannel shirts he wears don't come from some political consultant. They come from his closet, and they have been through some stuff. They have been through some stuff. That's right. Together, Kamala and Tim have kept faith with America's central story. A story that says we are all created equal. All of us endowed with certain inalienable rights, that everyone deserves a chance, that even when we don't agree with each other, we can find a way to live with each other. That's Kamala's vision. That's Tim's vision. That's the Democratic Party's vision. And our job over the next 11 weeks is to convince as many people as possible to vote for that vision. Now, it won't be easy. The other side knows it's easier to play on people's fears and cynicism, always has been. They will tell you that government is inherently corrupt, that sacrifice and generosity are for suckers. And since the game is rigged, it's okay to take what you want and just look after your own. That's the easy path. We have a different task. Our job is to convince people that democracy can actually deliver. And in doing that, we can't just point to what we've already accomplished. We can't just rely on the ideas of the past. We need to chart a new way forward to meet the challenges of today. And Kamala understands this. She knows, for example, that if we want to make it easier for more young people to buy a home, we need to build more units and clear away some of the outdated laws and regulations that made it harder to build homes for working people in this country. That is a priority, and she's put out a bold new plan to do just that. On health care, we should all be proud of the enormous progress that we've made through the Affordable Care Act, providing millions of people access to affordable coverage, protecting millions more from unscrupulous insurance practices.
Democracy delivers except when it delivers the wrong outcome, like in Venezuela, or when their policies don't work at all.
I noticed, by the way, that since it's become popular, they don't call it Obamacare no more. But Kamala knows we can't stop there, which is why she'll keep working to limit out-of-pocket costs. Kamala knows that if we want to help people get ahead, we need to put a college degree within reach of more Americans. But she also knows college shouldn't be the only ticket to the middle class. We need to follow the lead of governors like Tim Walz, who said, if you've got the skills and the drive, you shouldn't need a degree to work for state government. And in this new economy, we need a president who actually cares about the millions of people all across this country who wake up every single day to do the essential, often thankless work, to care for our sick, to clean our streets, to deliver our packages. We need a president who will stand up for their right to bargain for better wages and working conditions. And Kamala will be that president. Yes, she can. Yes, she can. A Harris-Walz administration can help us move past some of the tired old debates that keep stifling progress. Because at their core, Kamala and Tim understand that when everybody gets a fair shot, we are all better off. They understand that when every child gets a good education, the whole economy gets stronger. When women are paid the same as men for doing the same job, all families benefit.
Here we go. The same old lines.
They understand that we can secure our borders without tearing kids away from their parents. Just like we can keep our streets safe while also building trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve and eliminating bias, that will make it better for everybody. Donald Trump and his well-heeled donors, they don't see the world that way. For them, one group's gains is necessarily another group's loss. For them, freedom means that the powerful can do pretty much what they please, whether it's fire workers trying to organize a union or put poison in our rivers or avoid paying taxes like everybody else has to do. Well, we have a broader idea of freedom. We believe in the freedom to provide for your family if you're willing to work hard. the freedom to breathe clean air and drink clean water and send your kids to school without worrying if they'll come home. We believe that true freedom gives each of us the right to make decisions about our own life, how we worship, what our family looks like, how many kids we have, who we marry. And we believe that freedom requires us to recognize that other people have the freedom to make choices that are different than ours. That's okay.
He's hitting all the key words tonight? Yeah,
That's
for sure.
the America Kamala Harris and Tim Walz believe in. An America where
When he started talking about
includes
water,
everyone.
all I could think about was him in Flint, Michigan, and they offered him some water to drink, and he didn't want to drink it.
Because that's the only way this American experiment works. And despite what our politics might suggest, I think most Americans understand that. Democracy isn't just a bunch of abstract principles and dusty laws in some book somewhere. It's the values we live by. It's the way we treat each other, including those who don't look like us, or pray like us, or see the world exactly like we do. That sense of mutual respect has to be part of our message. Our politics have become so polarized these days that all of us across the political spectrum seem so quick to assume the worst in others, unless they agree with us on every single issue. We start thinking that the only way to win is to scold and shame and out-yell the other side.
That's my YouTube comments.
And after a while, regular folks just tune out, or they don't bother to vote. Now that...
Don't we have all these freedoms? Did I miss a takeover of some sort? Have I been breaking the law this whole time? Apparently they're just killing brown people out there. It's taking them out in the streets, man. I didn't know it was a thing, but apparently they are.
Approach may work for the politicians who just want attention and thrive on division. But it won't work for us to make progress on the things we care about, the things that really affect people's lives. We need to remember that we've all got our blind spots and contradictions and prejudices.
Oh, God,
and that
here we go.
If we want to win over those who aren't yet ready to support our candidates, we need to listen to their concerns and maybe learn something in the process. After all, if a parent or grandparent occasionally says something that makes us cringe, we don't automatically assume they're bad people. We recognize that the world is moving fast, that they need time and maybe a little encouragement to catch up. Our fellow citizens deserve the same grace we hope they'll extend to us. That's how we can build a true democratic majority, one that can get things done. And by the way, that does not just matter to the people in this country. The rest of the world is watching to see if we can actually pull this off. No nation, no society has ever tried to build a democracy as big and as diverse as ours before. One that includes people that over decades have come from every corner of the globe. One where our allegiances and our community are defined not by race or blood, but by a common creed. And that's why when we uphold our values, the world's a little brighter. When we don't, the world's a little dimmer. And dictators and autocrats feel emboldened. And over time, we become less safe. We shouldn't be the world's policemen, and we can't eradicate every cruelty and injustice in the world. But America can be and must be a force for good. Discouraging conflict, fighting disease, promoting human rights, protecting the planet from climate change, defending freedom, brokering peace. That's what Kamala Harris believes, and so do most Americans. Now, I know these ideas can feel pretty naive right now. We live in a time of such confusion and rancor, with a culture that puts a premium on things that don't last. Money, fame, status, likes. We chase the approval of strangers on our phones. We build all manner of walls and fences around ourselves, and then we wonder why we feel so alone. We don't trust each other as much because we don't take the time to know each other. And in that space between us, politicians and algorithms teach us to caricature each other and troll each other and fear each other. But here's the good news, Chicago. All across America, in big cities and small towns, away from all the noise, the ties that bind us together are still there. We still coach Little League and look out for our elderly neighbors. We still feed the hungry in churches and mosques and synagogues and temples. We share the same pride when our Olympic athletes compete for the gold. Because the vast majority of us do not want to live in a country that's bitter and divided. We want something better. We want to be better. And the joy and the excitement that we're seeing around this campaign tells us we're not alone. You know, I've spent a lot of time thinking about these past few months because, as Michelle mentioned, this summer we lost her mom, Ms. Marion Robinson. And I don't know that anybody has ever loved their mother-in-law any more than I love mine. Mostly it's because she was funny and wise and the least pretentious person I knew. That, and she always defended me with Michelle when I messed up. I'd hide behind her. But I also think one of the reasons Mary and I became so close was she reminded me of my grandmother, the woman who helped raise me as a child. And on the surface, the two of them did not have a lot in common. One was a black woman from right here, south side of Chicago, right down the way. Went to Englewood High School. The other was a little old white lady born in a tiny town called Piru, Kansas. Now, I know there aren't that many people from Peru. And yet they shared a basic outlook on life. They were strong, smart, resourceful women, full of common sense, who, regardless of the barriers they encountered, and women growing up in the 40s and 50s and 60s, they encountered barriers. They still went about their business without fuss or complaint and provided an unshakable foundation of love for their children and their grandchildren. In that sense, they both represented an entire generation of working people who, through war and depression,
Fuck, man, my mute was on. They're trying to relate so much to the working class people, but the amount of money that they probably make just from doing this speech, we will not even be able to ever comprehend. So yeah, they for sure are getting paid to do this.
discrimination, and limited opportunity helped build this country. A lot of them toiled every day at jobs that were often too small for them and didn't pay a lot. They willingly went without just to keep a roof over their families' heads, just to give their children something better.
Yeah. This is the ruling class speaking right now. They're trying to relate to you, but that is the ruling class. They're no different than Trump.
But they knew what was true. They knew what mattered. Things like honesty and integrity, kindness and hard work. They weren't impressed with braggarts or bullies. They didn't think putting other people down lifted you up or made you strong. They didn't spend a lot of time obsessing about what they didn't have. Instead, they appreciated what they did. They found pleasure in simple things. A card game with friends, a good meal, and laughter around the kitchen table. Helping others. And most of all, seeing their children do things and go places that they would have never imagined for themselves. Whether you are a Democrat or a Republican or somewhere in between, we have all had people like that in our lives. People like Kamala's parents, who crossed oceans because they believed in the promise of America. People like Tim's parents, who taught him about the importance of service. Good, hard-working people who weren't famous or powerful, but who managed in countless ways to leave this country just a little bit better than they found it. As much as any policy or program, I believe that's what we yearn for. A return to an America where we work together and look out for each other. A restoration of what Lincoln called, on the eve of Civil War, our bonds of affection. An America that taps what he called the better angels of our nature. That is what this election is about. And I believe that's why if we each do our part over the next 77 days, if we knock on doors, if we make phone calls, if we talk to our friends, if we listen to our neighbors, if we work like we've never worked before.
I'm sure he knows what we go through. They had to go a few days making their own meals when their chef was found on the beach. Did their chef die or something? Am I missing something?
If we hold firm to
I think
our
I remember something
convictions,
about that, right?
we will elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States.
Oh, ruled accident
And
of
Tim
drowning.
Walz as
Yeah.
the next vice
Yikes.
president of the United States. We will elect leaders up and down the ballot who will fight for the hopeful, forward-looking America we all believe in. And together, we too will build a country that is more secure and more just, more equal, and more free. So let's get to work. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
That's it. That's a speech. So I really thought Brock's speech was going to be like the amazing speech. Really, it was Michelle's. Hers was way better. Not to say that I agree with her politics at all, but I'm just saying her speech was probably better. It was more feisty. Made him feel more fired up. And he just walked off stage. I got paid so much money just now to do that. I'd made more money than you can ever imagine.
Evening's benediction, offered by Bishop Samuel L. Green Sr. and His Eminence Archbishop Alpidophoros of the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of America.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
God of our weary years, God of our silent tears.
My God. My God, man. What do they got going on tomorrow? Obviously, well, no. Thursday is when she's gonna accept the nomination. What did I say? Tuesday? It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, who they got speaking tomorrow? Let's see. DNC schedule for Wednesday. Plus Michelle's pay, we won't see them for a couple years. Exactly. They both got paid a killing. They strutted off and they said, I'm going to go buy me 50 million more beach condos. I don't know if I can get Wednesdays or day 4. See full schedule for day 4. This is not day 4. That'd be day 3. I mean, instead of Wednesday, let me type in day 3 and see if I can find who's going to be there tomorrow. Schedule by day. Let's see this. All right, Tuesday. There you go. Wednesday. Tomorrow. So, oh, okay. Bill Clinton's going to speak tomorrow. Nancy Pelosi's going to speak. Pete Buttigieg. I don't know how to say his name. And Vice President nominee Tim Walz is actually going to speak. So I don't know if I'll watch it. I might watch it. Maybe. I don't know. And then Thursday is mainly just for Kamala to take her nomination. Tomorrow is Tim Walz, isn't it? Yeah. Tim Walz for Wednesday. Yeah, Tim Walz, Bill Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, and Pete Buttigieg or Buttigieg or whatever the fuck his name is. So yeah, I'm curious to hear a Bill Clinton speech. Not gonna lie, could be fun. We definitely haven't seen Clinton in a long time. I think the last speech I saw him give was like at a crypto thing. Wasn't he at the Bitcoin conference like a couple of years ago? I think that's the last time I heard him give a speech. You know he got paid for that too. So we got a pervert, a drunk, a gay guy, and wholesome VP nomination. Yep. Yep. Yesterday we had Hillary. I think that was really the only memorable people that I saw yesterday was Hillary. Kamala spoke for a little bit. I think that's pretty much it. I'm so sick of seeing pictures of crowds from both sides trying to pretend that one person's crowd is bigger than the other, and they always end up taking pictures of before the event and people are actually in the seats. It's getting ridiculous. All Biden did was yell for 45 minutes. He did have some dictator-like poses with the jumbotron. Yeah. I saw his speech too, and it's very lackluster. You can tell he's phoning it in. Anybody who says that Biden isn't just trying to pass his time and step down is a liar. He's just trying to get through it. All right, I'm gonna head off. Tomorrow, though, White House press brief, man. I will see you there. Assuming they're actually gonna do the actual press brief. If it's not like a gaggle that they do in the air, I hate those. I usually skip on those. But usually on Wednesday, they're actually there. So I'm ready for a press brief. I feel like it's been a while since we actually watched one. So yeah, definitely tomorrow. Hitting the press brief.